This video is all about how I use ClickUp to run my content machine and really how it is in its beginning phases. So this is a system that buys back my time, and I'm going to show you exactly how, and I'm excited to show you this in the phase that it's in because it is not complete. It is a system I have set up and have been working on, but it is not really prime time yet. So I wanted to show it to you in this stage because I think it's really important to understand how systems evolve. And then after a couple months, when I get it really dialed in, I'll make another video so that you can see exactly what happened. And also I'll tell you the changes that I made from the beginning. So go ahead and watch the entire video, because even if you get like one tip that helps you fix your systems or it helps you do something better, it'll be totally worth your time in this video. Hey, I'm Monica Snyder and I am so excited that you're here. I love systems, passive income, email marketing, sales funnels, all kinds of fun things that automate. And I think that if you like those things too, you should subscribe to this channel. Now let's jump into my computer. All right, here we are inside my ClickUp, and you are looking at a screen that probably looks like a big old mess of stuff. But I'm gonna walk you through everything that I have done. And I wanna let you know that I learned the basis of how to build this system from my mentor, Trina Little. And I am very excited because I'm moving it around and making it my own, but I did learn the basics from her, and I will link her product that I learned it from down below. So this is my YouTube workflow. And over here on the left, I have resources. And I have this set up, by the way, in a board view. You can also view it in a list view or in a calendar view. But I find that for this particular workflow, I like board view the best. And I'll show you why, mostly over here, because you can see, a lot of the thumbnails. And I think it's just fun to visually see this one. And sometimes I do, however, look at calendar just to see, when stuff is going live and all that good stuff. And so what I thought I would show you is just how this is laid out and the automations that I have in place that make this run really smoothly and a whole lot of fun. And this is the part where I didn't really learn this from Trina because she doesn't use ClickUp, but the concepts are sort of from her and actually also from Jenna Kutcher on repurposing. So I'll dig into those as well. But over here on the left, I have the resources. So you can see I've got some SOP trainings that I'm working on, how to add caption files, how to edit YouTube settings, and how to take a video and get IG clips. And IG is Instagram. And so these are for my VA, and they're just here for me to keep them all in one spot. And then I have notes from Trina, who I told you was my mentor, research and generating ideas, training, and in cards, and just, my channel setup kind of stuff. And then what happens is when I get an idea, I come in here and I throw it into this idea phase. So these across the top, by the way, are the phases. So idea, in consideration, to title, script, write, to record, in edit, in final prep, to schedule, publish, to promote, published, and complete. So what I've learned is that I actually don't use complete. I could probably just rename complete and to published. So that's one thing that I would change about this system now that I've been working in it for 12 videos. And you can see there's all these ideas. So what I'm actually going to do is go through creating a task, and I'm going to show you everything that I've been using and not been using and what it started with and how it is, because I think that it's fun to see how systems evolve. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do this by setting up the task that I am going to use for this video right here. And then I'm going to show you all the automations behind it that make it easier for me to get all of this work done. So I'm going to click here. Since I'm going to record this, I'm actually already recording it. I'm going to go ahead and do it in the new record, or the to record section. So I'm going to click this new task, and then this is video 13. And if I hadn't known what video it was going to be yet, that's why you see these aren't here and you see this question mark. But this naming convention helps me find things across systems. And I'll show you exactly what that means in just a minute. But for right now, let's just name it 13 and click up walkthrough. I'm going to save that, and this will change. That's why this number 13 is so important. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use this number 13 across the systems. And to set that up, I am going to use one of these many fields that I have. Now, what happened was that I created all these fields thinking that I needed them all, and I really only use a couple. So video number is here. And I also use, let's see. I use the YouTube video URL, but and I use one more. Oh, the Google Drive folder and the publish date. So here's what happens is that all the rest of these just stay empty. And I was using them for one video, and then it became too tedious to actually put everything in here. And so I don't use them anymore. So what I do now is just put in this number, the ClickUp walkthrough. I put the video number in because the automations depend on this field, this custom field, to have that number. And then what I do is I come up here and I say to set up the Google Drive now. Now, what adding this label does is that it triggers Zapier to run a bunch of automations that set up the Google Drive folder structure that holds all my raw videos. And I'm going to show you kind of how that works. So this is working in the background. It's not immediate. And when it's done, it's going to pop up over here in the comments that my Google Drive folder is built. So I thought I would just walk you really quickly through this Zap because it's a pretty heavy duty Zap. There's 11 different things going on here, and I will show you each of them. I'm going to show you at a high level because otherwise it would just get really tedious. But when a task changes in ClickUp, you can see here that, I go through all this stuff. What's changed is the tag got set. Right? So with technical things and automations, they always need a kickoff trigger, and it's usually called a trigger. That's what I call it as a software developer, and that's what we have here. So what it does here is it finds the folder in Google Drive. So I have everything in my Google Drive folder here in this YouTube video, this YouTube thing, and it looks it up here, and then it will actually create a folder if it doesn't exist yet. So see this box here, it says create Google Drive folder if it doesn't exist. So I gave it the parent folder, and I actually told it to take the task name and put it into this. So you can see that this 13 ClickUp walkthrough is the same task name that we have here. And then I say, okay, post a comment in ClickUp with Google Drive folder link. So that's just going to post that. And then I'm going to create some folders. So create the raw video folder in Google Drive. And then I'm just going to close this. And then I'm going to create the final video folder. And this is a folder structure that I like to work with. And then I'm going to create the images and graphics folder in the Google Drive. And this actually goes into the raw video folder. It's for my video editor. And then I'm going to add the file sharing preferences. So this is just one of those little tedious steps where I don't actually have to go in and say, hey, share this publicly. And it's for that raw video file. That's how my video editor accesses it. This whole setup here saved me so much time when I did it because I was coming in here and doing this manually every single time, and it was making me just bananas. And so this particular setup was really well worth my time in testing. And then what I have is, you see this upload Monica in Circle file and upload YouTube follow on IG file, copy the script file, and copy the description file. And so we're going to pop over here into YouTube. And so it built it in this base folder. And then I actually move it into where it's publishing, which is one more manual thing that I have to do. But if you come in here, you can see it's got all these videos. So actually I need to make a new July folder, and it's got the raw video, the final video, a script, and a description. And so the raw video has the images and graphics folder. And you can see that I've got these two images that are set up already in here because they are in every video. And so my editor doesn't have to go looking for them. They're just all in the same place as the other images and graphics that I use. And then if we click up out of here, the final video has nothing in it yet because, well, I don't have the video. And then the script, I have a template that I use for this script. And it is, I've got all these check marks here, like, do I have all these things? Don't forget to post for thumbnails. And then, my base here, and make sure that you comment and like. So by the way, can you please click the like button if you're liking this so far? Because I did not set up a script for this, which is a failure on my part, but I knew that I'd be walking through. And so I just trusted my instincts. But normally I would come in here and work on this and make sure that I've got everything laid out properly. And then the description, this is for the actual YouTube description under the video. And I'll show you real fast. It's got just the default things that I use. And then we come in here and we actually change out, see how this says 7? This will become 13. So these will all become 13 to match the video number. And then what I do is I set up these links using Pretty Links. Pretty Links is a URL shortener that works with WordPress. And what I do is behind these links, I set up all the UTM parameters so that I can track my traffic. Now that's pretty advanced, but I did want to let you know why these numbers are all different. But using the number 13 helps me with this. And again, number 13 is this video, right? And so those are the two files. Now, where they are originally, the Zap can get them, is here in this template files used for every video. So I have these set up just like this. And what the Zapier does is comes and grabs these, and then it will go and put them in the new folder. So it just makes a copy and puts them in the folder. So anytime I want to adjust these templates and use them moving forward, I adjust this base template, and then moving forward, I have that template to work from. So if I went into the script template and I said, okay, well, I keep forgetting, something about this script, then it would copy from here, right? And then it would put it in the new ones when I got it. So the new one was over there. So that's how I have this all set up for my Google Drive structure to get build once I add this tag. So again, this is the trigger that sets off all that automation that builds out this whole file structure that I use in here. And again, the number 13 is important because it's my 13th video and I set up a bunch of links and things. And also, when I come into my Google Drive and I'm just looking real fast, I know I can search for 13. Because here's what happens is that I'm not going to title this click-through walkup. Like when you see this video, it's going to be named differently. But I haven't gotten that far yet. And I need to work on these files until then. So I can't search for the name. That's why the number helps. The other thing I do in Pretty Links is I set up a URL that is birdsong.co/13 or whatever number it is. And then I can use that on all my Instagram posts and my videos that are outside of YouTube, just as a short link to get to YouTube quickly. Back over here, we have the Google Drive folder. It comes over here. Now it's really important for me to grab this because I'll show you why. So I'm just gonna copy link address after I right click. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this because it's done its job. And then down here, I am going to add it to the Google Drive folder. Here we go. All right, so it's important that I have that because the next set of automations that runs sets up all my repurposing. Now, repurposing content is fun and I've found that I am trying to do too much right now, so I'm dialing it back. But let me show you what I do. Up here on the big board, there is this automate here. And you can see there are 3 active automations and I'm going to click in and I actually have a bunch of subtasks under here. So what happens is that all of these are triggered. Again, there's that trigger based on the publish date field. So we're going to just pop into this. We're going to edit it. So it says when custom field changes, and that's publish date. And it is set because so actually this is one of the adjustments that I made is that I was trying to change the dates, or I didn't have it set and I had to have, like, if it changed to blank, it would come create all these automations again. And so that was the problem. So that's why both of these are here. And it was an adjustment that I had to make because I just had this top one. And then I realized that I also needed to set that if it actually had a date so that it wouldn't recreate these if I changed this date. Over here, it says to create a task with the video number and the task name. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that this video number is actually duplicated because the number is in the task name too, but that's fine. So we create a task and this is for the Instagram video short. And here I have a status of needs correct date. And here in the description, I put change due date to 2 days after the publish date. And so these are the fields that I set up, those custom fields. And this is getting really technical, but basically I set up these custom fields, right, on all of them. It's a setup as a custom field. And actually you do that in any task, you can click add or edit fields and it's got all these different things that I have, right? But then you can put a new one in and you can see there's like all these different things that you can set them up with, which is cool. But again, I did overkill and so I'm dialing it back. So I have 3 videos that I create, 3 little short Instagram videos. And so there's video 1, video 2, and video 3. And video 2, you see this description is change due date to 8 days after publish date. And then here's the Google Drive folder. So this is why I put the Google Drive folder in as a field so that it can populate in the description of the new task that's going to get created. And then here is the YouTube task. So I link back to this task with the task ID. And this is just the base URL. There's probably a different way to do this, but that's how I did it. And then in here, I put video caption and hashtags because that's the information that I need. And I'll show you what this all looks like. So I set the due date as the publish date and there's no start date. And then here in Instagram specifically, I have caption needed, hashtags needed, and image needed. So that gets set up on all of these. And this one, these are pretty much the same, except that they have a different due date. So my VA will come in when this happens and she'll change all the dates for me. And so that's it for that. I also do a blog post and this goes into my blog list. And you can see there's a template that I use here. But I will say that this template I haven't really used, but I'll show it to you. And then again, with the same Google Drive folder, the task, and then the UTM builder spreadsheet. So this is a custom field that I use that I set every time with the same one. So UTM is a way of tracking information. I mentioned it earlier, but it's pretty advanced. So there's that. And then we have to create a task for announcing on Instagram, sort of the same thing. And a quote from this, there's so many of these things. And then, same concept though, set the due date after, keep going, right? So I had to build 3 of these to get all of the repurposed things that I wanted. So this one is 3 Instagram videos, a blog post, an announcement, and a quote post. This is 2 question posts, a content reframe, a visual velocity post, a reel, and pins, which are Pinterest pins. And then this one is for a carousel. Now, what happens when I do this? I'm going to show you. So over here on Instagram, this one I like to look at a list view a lot. And you see I have hashtags here just for easy getting. So These are a little bit different in that they have, here, I'll show it to you in this view. So needs correct date is that one I was telling you. And so my VA is coming in and set all these: to do, in progress, waiting on third party, ready to publish, and scheduled, and then closed. So these are all, if they're scheduled, they're pretty much closed. And then they go through this. So in progress, waiting on third party is usually the designer. I have a design team. And so you can see that these are there. And you can see these: caption needed, hashtags needed, carousel. That just helps me visually see what they are. This is a story, and then a reel, a story, things like that. So what happens is that over here in YouTube, I'm going to kick off this automation. You're going to see what's going to happen. It's fun. So we're going to click this. We're going to close that because I don't mind that. But if I come in here and I set the publish date, because remember that was the trigger. So the publish date for this will be the 5th of July. So we're going to close. And then what's going to happen is that over here in Instagram, if we go to the list, actually, let's do the board view. So now you can see there's 10 here. Actually, I'm going to do the list because it's like a lot. So all 10 of these for Instagram, like the 10 Instagram posts that get created from my one YouTube video, all got set up here. And then they all need the correct date. And that's how my VA knows to go do them. Now I could have assigned them to her. That's something I want to adjust. And then you might see like this whole thing. So this is a carousel, right? And so I actually put in this whole template that I use for the brand strong is the the designers I use. And so this is my template to put that in. So as much templatizing as I can do, I do. And so these all got created. And you can see over here in my blog posts, it got created here in pre-production. And you can see it's got 13. So what I can do with that number 13, by the way, is just search in any system that I use for that number. So if I'm in Google Drive, or if I'm in ClickUp, or if I'm in Content Fries, which is where I create my little short IG videos, whatever system I'm in, I can just search for that video number. I also use Rev to transcribe my files. So what's that? 4 systems. So now I can just look through all those systems for the number instead of the title, because the title changes. So that's why I'm using the number. I can also do it in my Pretty Link system. So that's why this number is so important. And then here's all this. And real quick, like this is my blog checklist. And like, I never end up doing all of this really. I mean, I do, but I don't actually come in here and check this. But it is important if you're going to be systemizing it and have someone else doing it, that you want them to check it. So that's why I do have this checklist, and it is set up as a template. You can come here to task settings, template center, and create a template. And that's it. This is how, oh wait, I forgot the Pinterest. And then here you can see the Pinterest one got created too. So a lot just happened in my ClickUp because of that automation. So real fast, what I really want you to take away from this is that you can do a lot with automations. I feel like this video might have just completely overwhelmed you. And I didn't want that. So this ClickUp walkthrough, my main takeaways are, if you take away anything, it's use a number to keep track of all of the things throughout the different places that you store files or do things, and then automate the things that you're doing manually. So when I added that Google Drive folder tag, which I'm not going to add again because it kicks off the automation, that it will go build out that file structure. And I didn't do that until actually I got a file structure that I liked, but I still could go in and adjust it. And then go ahead and use the automations in ClickUp to do things, and just make sure that your trigger is set on something that is good, because that's really a key takeaway. Because I had this trigger set to when I moved it to record, but what I found was that I would move stuff to record, but I wouldn't give it a date, and then it got really messy. So that's why I did the custom field. That was a lot. Comment below if you were like too much or not enough, because I'm curious if you like these kind of videos or not. I get a little nervous making them because they are pretty technical, and I tend to move fast because I understand tech so well. So if you just let me know where I lost you, or if you just loved it, then I can make more videos and I can do them better for you. In the meantime, watch this next video popping up on your screen.